So how do you sum up Bob Leverte's contribution to the industry in one word? You don't. Bob Leverte began his career carrying the bag for Schering Laboratories, then entered the agency world in market research with Robert A. Becker. He was co-founder of Rouvain Leverte, chairman at Bozell Jacobs Medical Group, and finally, founder and CEO of the Leverte Companies. Until the day he retired, Bob continued to pioneer new thinking and new approaches in the industry. He was the driving force behind ERS, the first in-house agency in pharmaceuticals, an untested concept.
Back in the mid-60s, the marketing management team of the ER Square Pharmaceutical Company decided to divert all of its ethical drug advertising from their various outside advertising agencies into Squibb's own in-house agency, the ERS Advertising. Bob Leverte was hired to develop, staff, and manage this new ad agency. The creation of Squibb's ERS Advertising was a very innovative venture at that time.
Bob was at the forefront of what we consider medical marketing essentials today. He saw the value of education in marketing and was a pioneer in CME and KOL development. He saw the power of data and took the first bold steps towards true target marketing. At Leverte Associates, he saw what few did, how computers would transform creative.
So the agency was actually built around, electronics in many ways, electronic creative development and saving of steps and efficiency and things like that.
And it worked out that we were one of the first agencies to employ the use of the computer, going from concept through the printing process.
When I think about Bob, in my interactions with him, it really has to do with embracing technology to develop creative.
As the president of the Pharmaceutical Advertising Council, Bob transformed PAC from primarily a social and networking group to an organization dedicated to growing the careers of its members. Bob was also instrumental in evolving the advertising review process, working with both the AMA and FDA to establish the guidance we still follow today. The creative that came out of Bob's shop reflected on one of his core principles, using science to sell pharma brands. He took on technical products, tapped physician advisors, and hired writers and art directors who understood how to tell a scientific story with unparalleled creativity.
We commissioned, in one instance, a very well-known illustrator painter, Robert J. Lee. He did an original series of paintings that eventually were put in with what poets had to say about pain and sensation into a limited edition book. We had a product named Bricanyl, and Bricanyl was for COPD, and well, the concept ended up being sort of a play on mythology, Aeolus, god of the wind. We commissioned a bronze about yay big by Albert Wien. He not only did Aeolus, he did several other objects that we could have in addition to that. So there was a whole theme that attached itself to that particular product.
Ask just about anyone to describe Bob's secret to decades of success, and chances are they will answer with words that have defined Bob's approach to clients, colleagues, and employees from the very beginning.
He was as honest and ethical as the day is long. We never did anything that was, not 100% legal, not 100% right with the client. If we made a mistake, we took responsibility for it.
Someone once said that integrity begins and is formed by what you do when nobody is watching. And if there's one thing that really exemplifies Bob, it's his integrity and trustworthiness.
There was a time when we were going to see the client, and it was an important meeting that we had set up, and he looks at his calendar, he said, I can't go. I've got to build birdhouses. And I said, birdhouses? And he said, I made a commitment. And it was a charity that he worked with where they would build birdhouses every year just to make sure that there was money raised in order to support women who were in trouble within Norwalk and all of that. So the bottom line there was we had to change the date on that because of, again, a commitment that Bob made. Always a man of integrity and honesty.
He ran such a very good, ethical, nice company. He was kind to his employees. He was kind to his vendors. The whole company was. The people he surrounded himself with embodied that entire philosophy. And something he always said is always, always, always treat everyone with respect and dignity.
Bob's a complete package. He had sales background. He's grounded in market research, all aspects of marketing and advertising, and then general management. And I guess on top of it, as the icing on the cake, was leadership.
Summing up Bob's career in one word, not possible. And now we've got even more to describe him. Member of the Medical Advertising Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Bob.